Oh my god, I did not want to have to be making this story again, but I am. So I have a story time today where um my god, I like actually it's like I want this series to end and luckily the school year's over, so it's gonna be ending soon. But I think I might have a class with this kid again, so that's not nice, but whatever. There's more stories to come, right? and so today's story time takes place like a week ago, and this is where the Oompa Loompa takes the L again, and I kind of take the L as well in this story because um I didn't really get in trouble. It was just like annoying and a big deal, and I just like didn't want to deal with it. So yeah, let's get into this. So today's story time takes place a little while ago, and we were doing speeches, and basically what that is you have to write a 6 paragraph essay on a topic. And this kid writes a paragraph about being short. Obviously it was really funny and everyone was laughing, and I happened to be laughing the most because it was hilarious. um and we started before the kid started the speech, my teacher was like, okay guys, you can laugh at this one, it's gonna be a little bit funny. And I was like, okay, so I can laugh, I'm allowed to laugh. And she was like, you just don't be obnoxious or something. And I was like, okay. And he starts his paragraph, he starts talking, and I'm dying. I'm absolutely dying. And I'm not being loud, I'm not being disruptive, I'm just like, my head is in my hands, like my face is in my shirt, like I'm just dying. So is my friends. And I'm sitting there, right? And the kid that's presenting looks up at me, and he was like, "Dude, stop." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Every single time someone comes up here, like in front of the entire class, he's like, every single time someone comes up here, you're like, hey," and he just like mocks me laughing. And he's like, "You're laughing so much, like relax." And I was like, I'm allowed to laugh. And the teacher's like, um, yeah, you should go into the hallway. And I was like, for what? And she was like, just go into the hallway. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I walk out, and I'm walking out, right? And the kid that's presenting, he was like, the Oompa Loompa, he was like, yeah, that's what you get. And I was like, I'm still taller than you. And I walk out, and everyone starts dying. I just hear it from the, I hear it from the hallway. All my friends are dying. Um, walk outside, right? I'm sitting in the hallway, and everyone claps because this thing is done. Like 5 minutes later, he finishes, and I go back into class to grab my water because the teacher hasn't told me to come inside yet, and I just want to grab my water. And the teacher's like, "Go outside." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was just like, "I'm grabbing my water," and she was like, "Go outside." I was like, "Okay, okay." So I walk back out, and I'm waiting in the hallway, right? And the bell rings to go outside, and I just dip. I just leave. I just go outside. And probably not the smartest choice on my end, but whatever. I go outside, go through my lunch class, and I'm outside, right? And I was supposed to be presenting after this kid, and obviously I didn't because I got sent into the hallway. And I didn't really practice my speech, so I was really happy that I didn't present, so I could present the next day and I could practice it. So I go up to the kid, and I'm like, okay, honestly, thank you. And my friends are with me. I don't know why they came with me, but whatever. I go up to him like, dude, thank you. Like, it's kind of probably weird, but like, thank you. I didn't practice my speech, so I can present it tomorrow. Thank you. And he's like, whatever. And I'm like, thank you. And my friends are roasting him, and I wasn't roasting him, but uh, um, yeah, they were just roasting the crap out of him, just flaming him. And he was getting kind of mad. He like pushed one of my friends, but whatever. Uh, it's not like he's gonna do anything, or he might throw a chair at you actually. But um, so he just walks away, and I go over there. I go over to play soccer, and my friends are like, "What was that about? Why are you thanking him?" And I told them everything that happened. I told them about his speech, and they were dying. They were absolutely like on the floor dying. And so we're playing soccer, right? And this kid is walking with one of his buddies, and he walks uh like we're playing a game with like both of the nets on the field, and the ball happens to roll by him, and he runs up to the ball, and he attempts to kick it. But when he attempts to kick it, he fails. He misses the ball and he face plants into the gravel. And he was laying there, and my friends were laughing so hard, and so was I, because it was the funniest thing ever. Like, this kid was being rude and like trying to be a bully and kick our ball away, and he completely backfired on him. And for some reason, later in the story, you'll hear why I was in the wrong for that. Because when someone's being rude and they manage to not be rude, it's your fault. Yep. But we're all laughing at him, and my friend goes up to him to grab the ball, and he gets up, and somehow he gets like pushed or something, and he didn't even get pushed. He literally fell. I saw it happen, and my friend didn't push him. I didn't see that. That literally didn't happen. And he fell onto the ground again, and he grabs the ball, and he pushes my other friend, and I run over there, and he starts walking away as soon as I run over, and I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. So he starts walking away, and my friend was fine, but it was kind of funny because, 4'11" person pushing some kid. Anyways, he walks into school to the office, and sorry, that was my phone. Walks into school to the office. We didn't know this, but we told our other friends what happened. And he walks into school, tells the principal, gets sent into the hallway. And my buddy's name that supposedly pushed him gets called in the announcements to come to the office. And he's like, okay, that's weird. And all my friends are like, okay, let's go. We all go up there, and the principal's like, "Why are you here?" To all of us, and we were like, "Oh, we're just telling you that he didn't do anything." And he was like, "Okay, I don't need you here. Goodbye." And we just walked away. I understood that, but so basically, they are sitting at the office, they're talking, and my mom drops off my lunch, at the office, and I go to the office to grab my lunch when the bell rings. I go up there, and my friend is nowhere to be found. He's in a classroom, I'm assuming, and the kid is at the office, right? He's just chilling there because he's probably in trouble for lying or something. But he's just sitting there, and I give him a really big smile because I know that things didn't go his way. Give him a huge smile, and I walk away, right? I walk back to class, and I see my friend in his class, and he just gives me a thumbs up, and I laughed. And I keep on walking. I go into class, start eating like normal, and my teacher walks in, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Eating." And she was like, "Well, go to the office." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Okay." I start walking to the office, and on the way there, I was like, "What could this possibly be for?" Right? Because I'm just annoyed at this point. Sorry about that. My friend just called me. Anyways, so I mean, she sends me to the office, and on the way to the office, I'm like, "Okay." This kid's probably at the office, and I don't want to sit with this dude because knowing him, he's probably gonna like start some crap, and I don't want to deal with that. So I go up to the office. He's not there. I'm like, okay, sweet. So I sit down, eating, and I have this long talk with this kid. He was really nice. Just sitting there with him, and my teacher comes down, and she's like, okay, dude, why are you here? And I was like, cause you sent me here. And she was like, do you know why you're here? And I was like, I actually have no idea. And she was like, yeah, you do. And I was like, I okay, can you tell me what I did? Because like I literally didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. And she was like, you literally didn't do anything. And I was like, I don't think so. I mean, like maybe I did, but I don't know. And she was like, why are you bullying him? And I was like, I'm not bullying him. What did he tell you? And she basically just explains that she has 6 of my friends that told me I was bullying him, that I was being rude to him. And I was like, all of my friends snitched on me? And she was like, yeah, I guess they just tell the truth. And I was like, okay, there's no way that's true in my head. I say that in my head, right? Um, and that'll be important for later. And we have this long talk, and it was like super painful talk. And she basically said that me telling my friends about speech was bullying him. And I was like, how was that bullying? I was just telling them about his speech. And she was like, why didn't you tell them about this person's speech? And I was like, well, it's not interesting. Hayden's speech was funny. You literally said that yourself. You said that it was a funny speech, so why shouldn't I be able to tell it to my friends? And she was like, well, this person's speech was funny. And I was like, yeah, but Hayden has thrown a chair at me. And she was like, well, this is a bullying situation. And I was like, okay, this is a bullying situation then. That's fine. And she's like, no, it's not fine. And I was like, okay, whatever. So she basically just like argues with me. And she was like, when he fell on the ground, why didn't you help him up? Because you were obviously laughing at him. And I was like, yeah, I was laughing at him. And she was like, what? Why were you laughing at him? And I was like, because he face planted trying to be a bully and kick our ball away. That was funny. And she was like, but he got hurt. And I was like, I didn't know that. Like, if I knew he was gonna, if I knew he was hurt, I wouldn't have laughed because like that's not funny if someone gets hurt. I still probably would have laughed, but you don't tell them that, you know. But I basically tell her no, I didn't know he was hurt, and she was like, why didn't you check on him? And I was like, okay, picture this, Miss Nuthead. I didn't say that, but I said her real name. I was like, picture this. This kid has thrown a chair at you. He's choked you. He's been rude to you, your friends. He's caused issues with everyone. He's rude. He's not a nice kid. And like, yeah. And he tries kicking your ball away. And you're saying that you would go over and help him up. You're saying that you would do that. And she just avoids the question. She's like, that doesn't matter. And I was like, yes, it does. Like, imagine you're 11-year-old me and this kid tries kicking your ball away, being a bully, and he face plants. Like, you're gonna tell me that you wouldn't laugh? And she was like, and she just like avoids the question because she knows that I'm on the right. And she's like, okay, whatever, just stay here. And yeah, I was like, okay. So she walks away. Oh yeah, and also during this, when I was like, yeah, I laughed at him, she was like, wow, you are something else, Heath. You are so disappointing. You are really something else. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But anyways, she walks away, right? And I finished lunch, and there was this other kid there. And like honestly, eating at the office is such a vibe. Like it's so nice. Like not dealing with people in class, but whatever. So I'm like chilling right at the office. The bell rings to go back, or like to stop eating. So I'm like, okay. So I finish my lunch. It takes like 1 minute. Start walking back to class, and I realize that she's talking to one of my buddies in the hallway. So I walk past them, and she's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? And I was like, I'm going back to class. And she was like, did I tell you could? And I was like, no, but the bell did. And she's like, go back to the office. So I walk back up there. I sit there, and the kid at the office that was also in trouble, he was like, what'd I tell you? Because he told me that if I go back, she's just gonna send me back. And he was right. But anyways, so I go back, sit down, and she comes back, and she's like, okay, you can come back. So I go back, and she says, wait here. And I'm waiting in the hallway out by my door. And the kid comes out, the Oompa Loompa. And he comes out, and she was like, okay, so explain what happened, from your perspective. And he explains what happened, and I was like, okay, first of all, I didn't know you were hurt. That's not funny when someone gets hurt. I didn't know you were hurt. It was just funny. Because you face planted, right? And he was like, that's not funny. And I was like, kinda was. And the teacher was like, okay, guys, well, you're gonna wait here, or I'm gonna leave, and you guys are gonna have to talk about this yourselves. And I was like, damn it, teacher, like, really? So she walks away, and me and him are talking, and I'm trying to be super respectful. And I could tell he was in such a bad mood, and like that, like I respect that because like he face planted, right? Kind of embarrassed himself again, but you know, um, but yeah. So I'm talking to him, right? And I like kept on saying to him, I was like, if I knew you were hurt, I wouldn't have laughed, cause like I said the same thing to, or whoa, I said her name. I'm gonna have to blur that out. I said the same thing to my teacher. I was like, I told her that I was like, if I knew you were hurt, I wouldn't have laughed. And yeah, he was like, okay, yeah, that's fine, whatever. And we talk, and the teacher comes out, and we're kind of done. And she was like, all right, you guys done? I was like, yep, I'm done. Go back into class, and I just like resume my day. But yeah, it was an interesting one, folks. It really was. But yeah, I really hope I don't have to make this series any longer. I mean, that'd be kind of cool because it gets me views, and it's a good series, you know what I mean? But yeah, I really hope this doesn't happen again. But if it does, stay tuned. So yeah, peace out.